If you're having trouble getting faster at the Rubik's Cube, here are 10 little things that you can do that'll most likely make you go a lot faster. So the first thing is when you start the timer, before you start it, of course you have inspection. And so what that is, if you don't know, is it's 15 seconds for you to see what you are looking at here. So if I see a good cross, because that's what we're gonna start on, of course, like yellow looks pretty good, I could inspect what moves I'm gonna do. So for example, in my head I could think I'm gonna do this to solve that, this, and then like this, and then D2, and then they'll solve it. And then if you are that good at doing it, let's say you're not, if you're not very good at inspecting, try to inspect more often and practice that, because that will definitely improve your time. If you are getting good at it, and if you inspect the cross, try to inspect the first pair. Like after that, you can inspect these two. So after you inspect the cube, what you're gonna do is, when you know your first move, so my first move will be an L move. When I start the timer, when you put the cube down, just put it down anywhere, because when you pick it up, you're gonna have to rotate. So don't do that. What you want to do is put it down the easiest way so you can do your moves better. So after that, once you learn that, when you start the cube, don't do this. Here, I'm going to show you 2 clips and see if you can tell the difference. Do you see the difference? The difference was that the second one was a lot faster. So instead of just taking my time, I actually went and quickly grabbed the cube and did my first turn. And if you inspect well, it will be the first certain amount of moves. But what my point is here is, whenever you start and stop the cube, don't take your time. Like when you stop it and when you're finished with the cube, don't put it down and then stop it. You want to like solve it and then go like that. Drop the cube as you're stopping the timer. Most people already do this, but just in case if you don't, that'll also improve your time. If you turn like this, you need to learn some finger tricks. So if you're gonna turn it right, you can use wrist moves, but when you turn the top, do not do this. You want to use your fingers like this. Okay? And then also, whenever you are doing front, don't go like this, or if you're doing back, don't turn it. Whenever you do an algorithm, you want to use finger tricks, so that's only fingers, and wrist turns whenever you need them. And you don't want to be using rotate. You don't want to rotate the cube. So here is the difference. So this is with wrist turns. And here is with finger tricks. Way faster. So if you learn these, if you learn some finger tricks, they will for sure improve your time. Here are just a few that you might not know. So if you do this, that's not what you want to do. Instead, you want to do this. You want to do index finger, middle finger. If you are doing this and this, don't do that. You want to use your ring finger instead. You want to push when you go up like that. When you want to go down, you push it up like this, like that. So those are just a couple finger tricks. That the middle slices would be for Ru, which is the method. I'm just showing multiple things for multiple methods. Whenever you're solving a cube, you don't want to rotate it, because that'll use up so much time. So watch this. Here is the difference between rotating and non-rotating. So when I put the cube down, start the timer, go, there's non-rotating, and I also use finger tricks. And here is if I did rotate. So I'll go like this, rotate, like that. So obviously it's way more efficient to not rotate. And this also goes with F2L and other things. So if you're doing an F2L case, so if I'm solving an F2 case like this, this is and I don't use rotations, this is what it would look like. But if I did use rotations, here's what it would look like. Here's the difference. So it's not too much of a difference, but whenever but if you are solving it fast, you will see that rotations will also slow down your momentum, and so you want less of them as possible. If it takes you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, over 8 moves, and you're solving the cross, if it takes you over 8 moves, you're doing it wrong. If you're doing an F2L case and you do this, 1 rotation, 2nd rotation, you're doing it wrong. The maximum rotations you want to do for an F2L case is 1. For example, in this case, I don't even need 1 rotation. I went like this and solved it like this. But what I could do instead is go like this. Way faster. If you have already done all these things and you think you are amazing at them and you know exactly how to do them and you're still not getting faster, then if you're using a bad cube that just doesn't work very well, maybe you should get a new cube, and then you could upgrade to still cheap but a much better cube instead. I'll put a link in the description below for a few cheap cubes that I really recommend. If you get a new cube and that still is not making you better, well, one thing you can do is time your algorithms. For example, here I'm going to do a T-perm. And then after a while, once I get faster at it and I time myself and I am improving how fast I'm doing my algorithms, this is what the improvement should look like. 2nd faster already. So time your algorithms, that way you got them down and you know exactly how to do them, where to do them, and everything like that. So make sure you know your algorithms very, very well. When you are solving the cube and you do something like this, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I'll turn it back. Don't do that. If you didn't mean to do something, just keep solving. You don't need to turn it back, because that'll slow your time down. Because if I'm solving this and I accidentally do this, and then turn it back and then solve it, but if I accidentally do that, I can just keep on, instead of just turning it back, I can just keep on solving. So whenever you are solving the cube, you want to have good turning decisions. Don't make a bad decision when you're solving it, of course. So make sure you work on that as well. And the last thing, number 10, is if none of these are helping you and you just think you got them all down, just keep practicing. Put more time into it if you really want to get faster. The more you practice, the faster you're gonna get. I will have videos on each of these, probably on each of these, in-depth video. I don't have them yet, so I can't put them in the description yet. So that is the end of the video. I hope these helped. If they didn't, I will have another video showing harder things. They're gonna be harder, but and bigger things that you're gonna have to work on. They're gonna be harder, not like these small things, but they will guarantee you better solves and better times. So that's it. Have a good day.